when you have a small number of people, a small population within a very large geographic industry, the creation of small businesses across a diversity of industry can have a large impact. We have a strong emphasis on the two primary core requirements of the national SBDC, and that is to provide counseling, free counseling on a one-on-one basis to new startups as well as existing businesses, and the other being programming, training, workshops to provide educational opportunities at all levels. So that's really the approach that we take in here in the state of Wisconsin. So we have 11 different districts, regions, that are attached to 11 different UW campuses throughout the state doing that.
The Southwest Business Development Center, along with the Pioneer Academic Center for Community Engagement, are encouraging individuals to experience, grow, and make a difference by helping to provide the tools to succeed.
PACE is an acronym that stands for the Pioneer Academic Center for Community Engagement. And the purpose of PACE is to get students out into the community to practice their trade, so to speak, in whatever that trade might be, whether it's engineering or criminal justice or English or art, agriculture, whatever it might be, to practice their trade with a real community situation, with real community people, and real consequences. It's taking that textbook knowledge that is needed as part of a classroom education and taking it out and applying it so they have that experiential feel before they graduate and go out into the real world. We look at not just entrepreneurship, but we're looking at three different phases of that. The first is creativity. The second is innovation. And the third is entrepreneurship. Creativity is coming up with an idea. So it's the falling in the shower and hitting your head and having that moment where you have that idea. You know, how many times have we had ideas that never got any further than that quick idea in our head and then it was gone? Innovation is taking it to the next step, making a phone call with it, going to the library, doing a little bit of research with it, seeing if there's anybody else who's selling this current product, if that's what it was, or have this current idea.
But that's a huge spirit that we want to tap into and provide the resources that they need to get past that unstable period of their startup growth.
Entrepreneurship is for the minority there that want to take that and go to an organizational type of thing. So you got an idea, a new invention, a new process, a new way of doing things, a better way to run the Girl Scout cookie drive, whatever it is. Entrepreneurship is then the business planning processes, getting the right resources together, marshaling the right resources and so forth to have an organizational entity. So you want to have a logo, but you're not a big business. You don't want to spend a lot of money. You don't have that bill to yourself necessarily or time. There's connections with websites or other people that do that for $100, let's say, for example, whatever the case might be. But it's connecting you with those services that you may need. Maybe it's tax services, maybe it's accounting services, maybe it's human resources services, maybe it's some legal services, etc.
We may go into developing a marketing plan. We may go into developing a operating budget that looks at cost cutting. We may look at inventory and how they're managing their inventory, because that's a big fixed cost. So it really kind of depends on the problem that the business is experiencing and what they've already done up to that point.
It's information, it's connectivity, and it's getting that person that's out there a chance to grow their business or get that healthy start in their business. That's the services component. SBDC does a lot of that kind of work already. They are working with us, and we are working with them to develop what those services potentially could be. And we have some people on the ground as part of this grant that are doing some research work to see what it is that the entrepreneurs and small businesses in the region, what they need, what they could really use. And part of what we want to do in that inner circle is have curriculum, workshops, guest speakers, experiences for the students and faculty, consulting opportunities for faculty, whatever it might be that would allow people to have a creative component, innovation component, and entrepreneurship component.
We've got the spirit. We know the spirit is out there in the region with the attitudes and the 3 times more likely to be self-employed. Okay, we need to develop that and give them an understanding at earlier ages. Get them comfortable with risk taking. To be a small business owner, you're a risk taker. So we got to get them comfortable and smart about how to take risks at an early age. So we're very involved as an SBDC, more so than any other in the state, in my opinion, getting involved in the elementary schools and the high schools to get entrepreneurial-oriented coursework out there to get them excited about being inventors, to get them excited about being innovative, to get them understanding about markets and customers and business plans at an earlier age. So that's becoming more and more of a real alternative that kids are going to have to consider as they get into their careers. That's why it's important that we start educating.
Entrepreneurship is its own thing. We have what I think is a very exciting vision for this, and there's a lot of details that we'll fill in over the next 2 years as we go forward.
The kids that are growing up now, that are in the elementary age schools, the high schools, the colleges, they are going to be forced to make some choices and have some realizations in terms of their own careers and their own ability to make money. And whereas it was a luxury or maybe an aside to consider owning your own business, that's going to become a real decision point.
For more information about PACE or the SWBDC, visit the University of Wisconsin-Platteville website.